Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And Megan, I'm drinking electrolyte, even though we don't have to give him a plug this week.
Because you love it.
I do.
It's the real deal.
Thirsty for those electrolytes.
What's the flavor today?
Blueberry, or wait, what's it called?
Blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry.
Look at us just handing out advertisements. That's if anyone's looking to jump on as a sponsor, that's what you get, just free stuff.
Yeah, if we like it for real, we like it for real.
Well, we don't accept sponsors we don't like, so there you go.
That's true. So I can think of a couple people I'd tell to scoot along.
Yep. Like, who would be one? No, we're not mentioning them.
No, because that's an ad form.
In case they want to be our sponsor.
And that's an ad form. Anyhow, let's get down to business because this is I like these. This podcast is going to basically be a recap of our trip up to New York, running the Fifth Avenue Mile with New Balance and the New York Roadrunners on our Train to NYC tour.
Yeah. Another fun stop.
Yeah, the Big Apple.
I mean, where did it start?
It started here because we got on a train together and stuff.
We actually took the train to New York.
Yeah.
All right, free ad also. Amtrak. I love it.
So good, so easy.
I do love the train.
Do you know what else I love? You get to bring, you could bring your beverage
Liquids.
with you.
I mean, part of me kind of wants to bring fireworks just to bring them.
No one's checking.
Yeah, you just jump on.
Wait a second, I don't like what you guys just did there.
Just bring.
I do not like what you guys just did there.
Just bring a couple Roman candles.
I don't want any. No, come on. Other people will get this idea, and next thing you know, we'll be on a train, and it'll be ruined because someone's lighting off M80s.
I think that no. I mean, it's not like Hogwarts Express. We're jumping around with casting spells up and down the corridors.
Okay, what's the worst seat on the plane or on the train, other than right outside the restroom?
I don't know that any of them. I haven't. There's another worse one.
Oh yeah, if you get one of them tables and you're looking, and you're going the wrong direction, and you're looking at people.
Yeah, it's like you had it's about as far as we're sitting apart, and you'd have to make eye contact. Now, Robbe though wouldn't hate this.
Hold on, can I tell you about it?
Did you do this?
He met
I
somebody.
forgot. I never mentioned this.
Okay.
When I went to New York City with my family, there was So I was sitting with my kids in a seat that I forget, maybe like the tray thing in front of me didn't work. I don't know.
Okay.
For some reason, one of my kids moved to the seat with my wife and another kid, and then I was like, and then this one guy got up at the one stop, and I was like, oh, he left, and it was a 4-seater, but I was like, I'm gonna move up there and have all this space to myself, right? So I sat in the 4-seater, and when I sat in the 4-seater, somebody came and sat in my original seat, right?
Oh, okay.
So you lost.
So I lost the original 2-seater, and then the guy was gone for probably 25 minutes.
Probably went to the food cart.
I think he was just in the bathroom, and he came back and then sat across from me, and I had no options to go back to my old seat. But the good news is he only had one leg, so there was more leg room for us in that space. True story.
Megan, how big of a nightmare is this for me, this entire scenario?
Yeah, you never would have gotten up in the first place.
That's true.
I ended up having a good conversation with him, and he shared his life story.
Well, you had to because you're staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I don't understand about you. Like, I get on, I'm the guy who puts his headphones in as soon as I get on the plane.
Not talking.
And I look straight forward. I don't engage. You, every time we go someplace, you're talking to people, you're doing stuff. And I like...
True story.
Yeah. Like, I like when we do interviews and stuff on the podcast, but like just a regular seat next to me in a plane, I don't need that life story.
I'm friends with so many Uber drivers on Facebook. It's insane. Like,
wait, are you actually? Yeah. Just from riding with them one time?
Yeah.
And you're like, let me get your Facebook.
This is usually after drinking a lot, and then
this checks out.
I don't really do that anymore because who has to be a Facebook friend? But this was 5 years ago or whatever when it was kind of normal.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying like they had jobs and now they're Uber drivers.
No, they're like I somehow like friend requested them and like know their life stories.
Stay in touch with your Uber drivers.
Yeah, and email addresses. It's wild.
Do they send your kids cards for their birthdays?
Not yet. I'm waiting. But anyway, so that was. You're right though. That is an awkward seat position. The
I
four-seater.
accidentally got them for us one time, and I think it was like in business class. So it's like you're assigned seats,
Yeah.
like you can't change.
Meg was miserable.
And I
'cause
was
she was going
backwards, and I was hung over, and there was people
yeah.
across that I didn't know, and I was like, I was just praying to everyone that I wouldn't vomit.
The weird thing about the train though is that you can't really get a forward or backward seat because when it goes to Philly, it changes direction. So,
But when you book it, now it shows you like forward.
Which direction
yeah.
you're going.
but when you go in Philly, it goes like in and then out, reverses out the other way.
Oh.
Some of them do.
We
That's
were-
happened to me before. Where I'm like facing forward, and then once we leave Philly, I'm facing backwards.
That doesn't
No,
make any
we
sense.
we
to me.
were going the same direction the whole time.
We went
okay.
from Baltimore to New York. It's
Yeah,
pretty
just
No,
straight
north.
line.
but do you know what I'm saying? It's like when they pull into the station, they
They didn't do
reverse
a
out.
I got you. I got
Okay.
you. Yeah, that didn't happen.
All right.
Thank
All right. So
goodness.
anyway, we made it up to
Let's talk more about trains.
yeah, the Penn Station train to New York. We made it up to Penn Station, New York, which is super convenient if you're staying in downtown Manhattan, like near Central Park.
Yeah.
And we always make a debate: do we Uber or walk? And we always walk, so I don't even know why we make a debate anymore.
Because
Yeah.
every once in a while we're like, maybe we'll do it. Like it was thunderstorming this
was
time,
raining,
and
yeah.
we still went for it.
Robbie and I were commenting that it was great that it was overcast and a little drizzly, because otherwise it was that humid, hot
Yeah.
feeling outside that I was really nervous that, like, if that had been blazing sun, we would have been cooked.
Yep. Yeah, blazing sun mixed with like the aggressive weed and garbage smells is an interesting
The
recipe.
weed was even more aggressive than normal. I felt like.
Yeah, it was quite pungent.
Yeah.
It is almost like a smell of New York now.
Does it seem weird that we went from this time when everybody was smoking cigarettes everywhere, and then now it's completely offensive to smoke a cigarette in public, except if you're smoking smoking
and it's a high
marijuana,
five.
it's totally fine and everyone's cool with it. I'm like, you're still smoking a thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
I think what
Just
the
everyone's
difference
on
is
board
like
with it
when you're
now.
smoking a cigarette, like, what are you really getting out of it other than the stinky smell?
You look cool.
Okay.
I did.
Smoking cigarettes looks cool. Let's be real.
No, we went to a Starbucks at what was it, like 6
Are you
a.m.
gonna say that
on-
woman walking by?
No, there was a dude in the corner of the Starbucks lighting up a cigarette, smoking at 6 a.m. And I was like, that's first of all disgusting. Second of all, did not look cool.
in the restaurant.
Yeah, in the Starbucks.
No way.
No one said anything to him either.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring back the 60s.
And then I saw a girl that looked, or a woman that looked physically like someone that would be a workoutaholic person. She's strolling down the
Yeah.
side. She has a nice camel in in her hand, and
I don't know. It might be making a comeback. Every time I'm in New York,
We've
I think
always
it's going to
said
make a
that.
comeback.
you and I have talked about that.
I think people just smoke in New York. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the fashion capital of the world.
It looks cool.
And
You just proved my point.
I will say, it does and it doesn't. When you see somebody who's ill and out of shape,
Yeah.
and they're smoking, and they're like, they don't look cool. But if you see the supermodel next to the rock star, he's got his leather jacket on.
That's what I'm saying.
She's
I
waving.
didn't see
you're-
any of that.
If you're already cool, it takes it up a little bit, another notch.
To 12-year-old Robbie, it sure does. Look at you teenagers with your cigarettes and your leather jackets.
I did when I was back home because my grandpa passed away earlier this year, and my grandma was like had some of his stuff, and I procured a Marlboro Miles jean jacket.
Nice.
So that's cool.
Is that coming out for something? Like, are we going to see this rock?
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for it to get temperatures to drop a little bit.
And then it's
But-
like Marlboro time.
Yeah. It's not very obvious. It's just a small imprint on the back. So
All right. So when you were cool and in the rock days, you were smoking cigarettes.
when you were
Yeah.
cool.
You
How'd
were
you like
like,
that
thanks.
layup?
You were like letting it hang off the lip as you burnt down.
yeah, I didn't smoke that much on stage, but yeah, I mean, I did.
Okay.
I did like.
And you say it looks cool.
Yeah.
You've got a Marlboro jacket now. If one of your kids, say he gets 16 or 17, he's like, Dad, I love cigarettes. I
Yeah.
want to smoke.
I don't know. I'm not going to let him do that.
Or
Still
just
have
on
a responsibility
principle?
as a parent.
Okay, but in the meantime, where you'd be like, "Yo, you look really cool over
If
there."
he's over the age of 18, and I would be disappointed, but kind of at this.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Exactly. All right.
Now, can I have one? Pass one to Pops.
Yeah.
Enough cigarette talk.
All right.
Anyways.
So we're up in New York. We stayed at the Hilton,
Yep, Midtown.
and the first person I see in the lobby, or if first person Brandon sees,
Yeah.
is Cooper Tier.
Nike Bowerman track club athlete. Yeah.
And Brandon obviously recognizes him right off the bat. And so we call him over and we do a quick little selfie, which was great.
Yeah.
He had no clue who we were, by the way.
Why would he?
Absolutely zero. I mean, if we put stuff online.
Yeah.
He's not looking at that, obviously.
Yeah, he's probably like, those aren't Nikes.
Yeah.
We'll just keep
Yeah.
moving.
I mean, in the hotel was kind of madness because the U.S. Open was going on, so a lot of the players and coaches were staying there. It was Fashion Week as well in New York City, so it felt like there was a lot of things happening.
And all in the hotel. It seemed like we were the official hotel for the U.S. Open for the New York Fifth Avenue Mile. New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile with New York Roadrunners. How about that, Mike?
There you go.
It was all going on.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Harry Potter, it seemed like, like platform 9 3/4, like at the station when there's just so many people coming and going and appearing out of nowhere. It just seemed like people were coming from all corners of that hotel.
Yeah, and there was like the beauty pageant situation.
You found that later. I don't even know if that was a beauty pageant. I think there was just some people.
They had sashes. It seemed official.
I think they just paid a lot of money and they went to probably a hotel ballroom somewhere. Someone handed it to them.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah. So we got to the Hilton. We basically, what did we do the first night?
We all just met up and went to dinner.
Where did we go to dinner?
Nino's 46.
Yeah, it was like an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Why don't I remember that one at all?
I don't know, but
it was warm inside.
Oh,
we sat in the back corner.
Hot. Now I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super hot.
I was super bummed because, I did a good job not drinking this weekend. It was tough, by the way, but that first we had a drink in the hotel and I ordered a Nojito, which clever.
No fun.
No
fun.
Yeah. And what they handed me, I don't even know what it was. It was basically like a kid's juice box dumped into a glass. It was.
That sounds like something you'd love.
Yeah. It's
fancy.
I've done it before, but I added alcohol to it. But it was nothing that's in an actual mojito. There was there was lemon with it.
Okay.
Mango puree, seltzer water, and no mint.
So not anything like a mojito.
It actually was a Nojito.
Yeah, it really was.
Not even close, Hito.
They got me on that one, on a technicality.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so then we
went over there. After we left that restaurant, we got everybody to line up in front of Radio Hall and be real tourists in New York. Mm-hmm. And you guys did a Rockettes line.
Yeah, I forgot Robbie was sober.
I feel
for all
awkward.
This.
And that's when being sober goes wrong.
There's no way I would have done that sober.
Hey everybody, let's get everybody kicking over here. Robbie's got to do it sober.
I half-assed that for sure. Yeah,
it made for some good content in the stories. It's fine.
Anyways,
yeah, it did.
Yeah. So, and then I saw Romeo and Juliet opera in the park that night.
That's right. We all kind of went back to the hotel, and then we found out Robbe was doing Shakespeare in the Park.
It was pretty cool. I have actually never seen a real opera, and it was the real New York City Opera.
Why did you decide to continue on to the park?
It was like 8:00 at night, so the night was young,
for some
early, and so I was like, I know, and they do a lot of cool stuff in the parks in New York City for free, so I just looked up Bryant Park, and sure enough. So that was pretty cool. Although I have to say, not knowing Italian and watching an opera, very not as cool.
Wait, but do you think it would be cool if they were like yelling English words?
Yeah, I mean, I know the Romeo and Juliet, so I knew what was happening.
The basic premise.
And they had
How confused he'd be if it was a play he didn't know.
In between the scenes, they did have a guy come out and like stage, give the setup for it. But I couldn't take it seriously when they're fighting, like Tybalt and
because they're singing at each other.
Yeah, it's not like I can't take.
I was like, breakdance fighting.
This is it was like that. I'm like, this can't be real. Like, it's way too dramatic. Like just too much. But then they killed themselves, and that was that.
That was a perfect ending.
Yeah,
what a treat.
All right, so first check-in. Man, I let it happen. I let my fears get in the way of my performance. Kind of regret it. I'm going to tell you something. I wish I could go back and just throw it out there, run hard, do it, and not worry about the result. And I'm trying to get there, so I'm doing some stuff. But while you're doing your training here, just concentrate on your training. Let the fitness happen. And then when it comes to race day, let's see what you got.
Anyway, so we had the shakeout run the next morning.
Yes.
At New York Roadrunners headquarters.
Okay.
The run center.
Again, everybody's in the lobby on time.
Yeah.
Robbie's not been drinking, so it's not like he's hungover in his room. We all meet up at the...
I think I just had to go to the bathroom too much.
Okay. Because we all meet up in the lobby.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And we mosey on over. So I think it was less guys because Jarrett had to stay back. Lo wasn't there.
Yep.
It was just myself, Brandon, who's not in the photos, but taking the photos, and then a whole bunch of women.
Like you talk about it like it's such a problem that you were surrounded by lovely women.
Yeah, but this is most guys' dream.
Right, and Thomas is angry about it.
I'm not talking about like it's a problem.
Okay.
What I'm talking about...
You already dug that hole.
No,
it's too late.
You had Jess Movold, Coach Jess Movold.
Yep.
Run like Heller, Emily Heller from YouTube Shoe Reviewer. And then we had Allison Staples, who was on the team last year.
Megan Featherstone.
Obviously, Megan Featherstone, nutritionist, dietitian.
Yep.
Sorry, dietitian. That's the right word, right?
You can say any of it.
Hydration tourist.
Yeah. And then Megan.
Yeah. The Megan.
The Meg.
The Meg.
So the run.
Speaking of which, congratulations on your win last night.
Yep. Fantasy football win.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't see the official
You
standings.
lost real bad.
I had Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback.
I know. He's out, dude. So you're going to have to figure
Sorry,
this one
New
out.
York.
I'll figure it out.
It was so sad, not to totally derail like we normally do, but like watching the game and to see like almost immediately four possessions, Aaron Rodgers out for the year. Like, and I saw it and it didn't look
bad at all.
But you saw it when they did it in slow motion. You kind of saw how hyperextended his foot got. Yeah. And you're just like, all those guys that like, that all those New York fans are like, this is our year. This is it.
Yeah.
It turns out that the backup is maybe okay. So
yeah,
they won in overtime last night.
I wonder if the quarterback knows Clayton Young.
Ask him.
They all went to BYU. Yeah. I mean, it can't be that big of a school. And if you're in the athletic department.
Let's look that up.
Like, wouldn't you want to hand off the ball to Clayton Young if you could? Dude could run faster than anybody.
It'd be pretty fast, yeah.
Yeah,
Connor Mantz was there too. Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. We're the Believe in the Run reviewers have a fantasy football league together, so everyone's in on that.
Yeah. Anyhow, so with that posse of women and us two gents, we are like, okay, Robbie will meet us down there. We went over to the New York Roadrunners. It's called the Run Hub, right?
Run Center.
Run Center?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is a cool space. It's got little lockers for you to put your stuff.
It's a little store inside.
Yeah.
I like that they had every medal from the New York City Marathon from the beginning till now, and just seeing the progression. It's like size. America in miniature.
Yeah.
Like it used to be a tiny size of a
nickel.
quarter. Yeah. And now it's the size of a
Gigantic.
head.
Yeah.
And it's just like classic. Like the trend of life in America. We used to drive in little cars. Now we drive in tanks.
Yeah, you got a bigger
SUVs.
Yeah, but I kind of like some of the. I was like, let's bring back those tiny medals. Kind of fun.
I mean,
you'd upset a lot of people.
Yeah,
running.
For sure. I I feel like we wouldn't care, but
No.
But the medals sell. I thought, you know what I thought our Tokyo medals were pretty small.
they were. And at the time, your initial reaction is like, oh man, it's kind of. But looking back, I actually like that medal a lot.
I agree.
Okay.
Put it in your pocket, carry it around with you.
You could
like
wear
a challenge.
it as a wristwatch.
It's like a challenge coin.
It is like a challenge coin.
Yeah. Except for you finished the challenge.
Brigham Young has 35,000 students, by the way.
That's pretty large.
Yeah, but in the athletic department?
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
All right. So we make it to this
shakeout run.
Yeah. And people tried on here's the problem with our shakeout run sometimes is these shoe companies are always giving us race day shoes for the people to try.
And then everyone wants to run fast.
So we gave out
SC Elites.
And we head out to the park. We take a photo in front of the center, and then we also do one our favorite at that it's right off Columbus Circle. Mm-hmm. And we even had some pigeons there.
Yeah, I try to kick up a bunch. There's a bunch of robots hanging out in this area, and I try to kick them up for the picture, which kind of worked out.
Well, I saw that you were kind of wrangling.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Robbie's now a pigeon wrangler.
Robbie said to me, I bet I could grab one. And I said, I tried to get him to do it. And I feel like I got really close. And then I
accidentally kicked one.
I'm not, I have a little bit of fear of birds pecking.
What?
Birds pecking
You'll pick up
your
a
arm.
snake.
What's going to happen if a bird pecks you?
You get hurt.
It's just too chaotic for me in a way.
Their heads are unpredictable.
Yeah. But snakes, I feel like you can kind of figure out what they're doing.
Wait, you're scared of birds pecking you, not of a snake biting you.
Correct.
Okay. This absolutely makes no sense.
It's the wings.
It sounds like it's the beak.
It's the beak and the wings. It's just they're flapping. It's too chaotic. I think it comes from when my grandma would catch chickens to,
Mima was a chicken catcher.
Yeah, to whatever, butcher. And yeah, and when you catch a chicken, it's craziness. You don't know what's happening.
That's why they say stuff like a chicken with its head cut off.
Yeah, it's true. I've seen it.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
They go nuts.
they go for a while.
That just lets you know they don't really think about that much.
Okay.
No. Did you ever hear... hold on, I have to mention this. I cannot. Did you ever hear about that chicken that
lived for like a year or 3 years?
Oh yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah,
with his head cut off.
Yeah, they cut off the chicken's head and it never died.
How does that work?
So it still had the spine, the nerve thing that
at the tip of your spine,
at the base. Yeah, basically at the base of the brain and where the spine meets. That the angle of the cut was above it enough that it could still function, walk and flap its wings and swallow. So the guy would just take an eyedropper and drop food down its throat, and it was totally normal, pet hung out.
What do you mean totally normal? Didn't have a head.
Totally normal headless pet.
His name was Mike the Headless Chicken.
You know, it's funny. He would answer to it.
Dude, he lived for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's the eyedropper
and I think
for me.
The only reason he died was because they lost him or something like that.
He went for a walk. He got loose.
Oh no, he choked.
He choked.
He choked on a kernel of corn in his throat.
What a sad day.
Oh man. But that's back then.
I don't know. That might have to go on a T-shirt. We might have to do Mike the Headless Chicken. Believe in the run.
I mean, he was a celebrity. They shipped him all around the country to different shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But
like a circus.
Imagine if we had that for our shakeout run, just him coming along. Maybe, well, I guess you couldn't do a leash because you can't really tie it around.
Yeah, the foot. You do it around his foot.
Do the harness.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Maybe you get him a guide chicken.
Yeah.
All right. So I actually almost kicked. Well, no, I did kick one of the pigeons on the run. But, okay. So how many times have we done shakeout runs in the park at this point?
A million.
4 or 5, I would say.
Or that.
You wouldn't expect me to get lost at this point.
No, I would. I definitely would.
All right. Actually, my sense of direction is pretty
sometimes,
good.
And then other places it makes absolutely no sense.
I think there's magnets.
If Thomas goes south of the city, done for. He does not know where he is.
North of the city, I got you.
Really?
Yeah.
I can. You could blindfold me, drop me someplace, and I will get you home.
But south of the city, you could be in anywhere.
We'll end up in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
But at this time, we were going out, and Meg and
Jess
Movold were leading the group. So when we came to this one turn, Jess was waiting for everybody. I was like, Jess, you go ahead. I'll make sure that everybody gets to this turn because I don't care, and you're supposed to be up front helping people know where they're supposed to be. So I waited that turn. You may have seen me. I was doing like a hand gesture.
Yeah, you were helping people out.
And I waited until nobody else was coming, and I was like, I feel like I didn't want anybody to be like, I got lost on the run. So I waited. Everybody got there. I don't know how from that point, like I didn't make it.
Did you not follow your own instructions and go into the circle in the center?
I think what I did was I went up.
There's a lot of paths that go to and fro.
Sure.
So I
don't find that surprising.
I find myself running for a long time, and I'm like, I've now just crossed over 4.5 miles. I'm like, I'm not seeing anybody. I must have taken a wrong turn.
Yeah.
So I called. Did I call you or text you, Meg?
I don't remember.
Did you just have Find My Friend on?
Yeah, I tried to do that. I ended up at the very, very top corner of the park.
You got in an extra mile or two.
I ended up turning it into a 7-mile run.
Ours was 5.
Okay.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised it was that long.
We thought it was going to be 3 miles, and it turns out it was 5. So
I was okay with it.
If you come to one of our shakeout runs, be prepared
that
to
it
run
might
any
be
distance.
You would have
1
thought
to 5 miles longer or shorter.
Yeah, you would have thought I was leading that run.
Yeah.
I'm notorious.
Hey, we followed the path. It's just the route they gave us was longer than 3 miles.
It's just the route around the lake. It just is 5 miles.
Yeah.
It's just how
That's
long
what it is.
Eventually, I make it back.
A reservoir.
What did you guys do? Like, okay, so we handed out the bags. The bags, by the way, came out insane. I love them.
Yeah, they're very cool. Some custom sling bags that are co-branded New York Roadrunners, New Balance, and Believe in the Run.
And they actually match
the colorways of the New York City
special edition New Balance shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so that was cool. Yeah, I mean, we just hung out back there. Nobody realized you were missing, so that should be reassuring for you.
I know. Did you even think about it?
I went and did some extra miles, so that's what I was doing.
Yeah, but you did your extra miles right before I got back.
Yeah.
Like, you hung out for a while. Did you know I was missing?
You contacted me to tell me you were lost.
But before I contacted you, were you like...
How would I know there were still people coming in?
Yep. Yeah, I had no clue. So...
Yeah.
But I was really happy.
Enjoy your bagel.
I was really happy to see your return.
Well, it worked out
Joyous.
for us
because you were waiting in line to get bibs, and I could jump right straight to the front. So that was cool.
That was a cool thing. And then you and I wanted to get extra miles, so I was doing 13 for the day, and you were doing 16. Meg, how much did you end up doing that day?
I think 8
total.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a tiny day.
But it was cloudy when we went out, and it was humid, so humid, but. It was cloudy, so it wasn't terrible on the 5-mile route.
Yeah.
But then when we went back out, the sun was out in full force, and that was something.
Tell everyone what you did.
Well, wait, we'll get to that because Robbe and I enjoyed some miles together. The thing with the way that the temperature was, you sweat, but the sweat didn't come off of you.
Right.
Like it didn't evaporate. So it was just like you were clammy. And then the sun would come out and it was like laser clammy. But we found it a working fountain, Meg, that actually we're not in Baltimore anymore. You push the button.
And water came out.
They even had a dog dish fountain at the bottom of that thing. But
Fancy.
there was a couple of them I found. And
did you think it was weird that people were letting their dogs off leash in the Central Park?
I did, but apparently someone told me that you're allowed to let them off leash until 7:30 a.m. But then I guess people just keep doing it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising to me. But then...
And how many runners, okay, so we're done with the shakeout, which we had a nice group. Thanks to everybody who came out. We really appreciate the support. It was awesome. But then just running in Central Park, I don't know why you would sign up for races, because it felt like you're in a race environment. Like it was like 5-6 people wide.
So many people.
I don't like it. It's too much for me.
It really is too much.
Yeah.
But like if you need like,
and then the bikes, just everything.
And they hate us.
Oh yeah.
Runners.
I get why they do it, because I did dumb stuff like not think, like it was crossing the road, didn't look.
Well, yeah, you're the problem.
I know.
You're why they hate us.
I understand it.
Yeah. But then, so you stayed with me till mile 11, I think, on my run. And then I kept going.
Are you sure? Because I thought you were close to 13 as well.
No, I was two less than you. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I kept going, and it was just...
You said it was top 3 worst runs.
For sure. Like, I was stopping every mile or so just to, like, dump water on my head. Like, you know, just take a gel. Like, it was just miserable. And I just don't do well in heat. I know most people don't, but I really feel like I just, for whatever reason, I just feel horrible.
Dude, I'm with you. I suck in the heat.
Yeah. And so I just started, and it wasn't hot. I mean, it was 83 maybe. Like, it was hot,
but it wasn't like 90s. I said,
Yeah.
Your sweat wasn't evaporating. You just were clammy hot, and then it was like another layer. Yeah. It was like wearing a wet sweater.
Yeah. So, then I started getting a headache. Once I start getting a headache, I know it's really going downhill. So I was like thinking of bailing around mile 12.
I actually was surprised you didn't just drop with me. When I finished my 13, I was like, maybe Robbe's just going to just be like, yeah, it's enough for today.
I almost did. And then when on my way back around the lake, you know, that's that gravel path where all the runners are at. And I looked down as I was running, and I saw a Ziploc bag with 2 like gel caps, like white, like gel cap pills. And I was like, those have to be salt sticks.
Okay, first of all, no, they do not.
Yeah, there's so many other things they could have been.
Absolutely. Okay. Why do you pick things up off the ground?
And those have to be, I thought, 50-50 chance. But
also, like, Meg, don't you think someone sweat all over that bag?
I'm not touching that ever.
It was in a Ziploc bag.
It doesn't matter that bag is coated with...
Okay, you had to also say, like, if I'm walking down the street right now, I'm not picking up that bag. But you have to realize the state of mind that I'm in, where I felt so shitty, and I knew if that was indeed salt stick, that it's going to save my life right now.
Was there any branding on it, or did you really gamble and
I don't think there's
them
branding
down?
on
There's definitely no branding.
Tell them how you tested
honestly,
to see what it was.
If there was branding on it, that would have been bad. So I was like, I cracked one open. I was like, if I crack it open and taste it and it's salt, I know it's salt stick. And if it's something else, I'm not going to die. I would probably just whatever.
Yeah,
okay.
Just have a nice trip.
Roll the dice.
Well, little cocaine never hurt anyone.
Microdose. That wasn't a microdose.
So that's exactly what I did, and I'm sure it was 100% salt. And then I took it, and honestly, it brought me back. Like, it really did save me. It started to turn around a little bit after that, and then but then I stopped at another water fountain, and then poured water all over my head. And you know how when you pour it on your head, it goes straight into your shoes?
Yeah.
Well, then my shoes were completely soaked and heavy feet at mile 13. But luckily, one of our followers, his name's Charles, shout out to him. He like saw me, I guess, and came up behind me and was like, how's it go? How's your time in New York? And I was like, terrible. And he's like, do you want me to pull you along for like however long you want to go?
Did you have any salt stick pills so that I didn't have to eat one off the ground?
I did tell him I did that.
Oh, wow.
I can't believe I admitted that to some. Well, I guess I'm admitting it to thousands of people. Yeah. So, but then he ran with me, and that really just helped a ton for the next mile and a half or so. And then,
I mean, I feel that way. So Lynn, who showed up, probably been to every shakeout run we've done in New York. Mm. Shout out to Lynn. I felt so bad at the Brooklyn half. I would have never finished without him, but having him pop in there and kind of like run with me, like, I feel like is what you're saying. Like it just helps.
Yeah. I mean, cause I was already finished with my loop around, and I still had like 3 more miles. So I probably would have quit if he wouldn't have actually helped me out there. And then I pound it. you know, that scratch protein powder or whatever, that recovery thing,
yeah.
which apparently doesn't mix with water.
It's you need like a shaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like mixing it for 5 minutes. What is happening? I was just like, I'm just drinking this, and it was straight
It's amazing.
powder.
It's like it's hydrophobic.
I seriously was like, how is this powder not mixing with water?
Wait, do you remember that?
Shaker,
Do you remember that
sure.
sand when we were kids? Like you could pour it in the water and
Yeah.
you could build like castles, and then like you pull it out and it's dry.
Yeah.
I think it's like
It
that.
basically is that. I thought I was losing my mind. And then, so I drank that, had like another couple electrolyte mixes. Then you saved me with the hyperhydration.
Yeah. Super. What is it called now? High sodium.
Yeah.
High sodium scratch.
And then that, then it was okay. But yeah, quite the morning.
What?
And that's
for
all
sure.
before the Fifth Ave mile.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten there. But I mean, the rest of the afternoon, we went over to.
We did the touristy thing and went
Yeah.
down to Times Square. Went into the Levi's store. You got a fancy pair of jeans.
I did.
They look good.
I did a Japanese denim. You know.
Yeah.
Since I've been to Japan, I'm allowed to do anything Japanese. now. I can eat ramen all day.
Yeah.
I can wear Japanese denim.
Did you get ramen while you were there?
I didn't.
Okay.
I did want. Oh, when we went to the train station, it looked like there was a ramen stand, but Megan doesn't like ramen, so I don't want to.
Like I
that's
like
right. We
it,
talked
just
about this.
not all the time.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hot as hell out too.
Yeah,
so,
like that's not what I want.
Yeah.
Second check-in. Man, should I still be beating myself up? That's what you got to wonder. But maybe I should just use it as a learning experience. Maybe you should too. You don't have to go through it. You just say, hey, make mistakes, fix them, run. I'm here to do the sport because it's fun, being around people, racing, doing all this stuff. And let's face it, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, nobody's going to care what you ran anyway. But Times Square, I know it's for the tourists and everything, but it's insane how over sensory, like,
Yeah, it's still cool.
but I couldn't like, I was telling Meg when we were walking away, I was like, I know my brain saw everything, but I know that it could only focus on one or two things. But somewhere in our subconscious is this entire like explosion of
No, I just remember the
activity.
banana ad, the Chiquitos.
See, Chiquita. And you
Chiquitas.
remembered the brand, so
Yeah.
there you go. We were like, why does the banana need to advertise? Are they having trouble selling bananas?
That's what I never understand about the pork commercials and stuff. I guess maybe pork I could see some struggles with sales.
Yeah, they
Pork
got
loin
they
isn't
got
the
some
hottest.
bad. It's not halal. You got some bad.
Or milk commercials. I'm like, are you gaining new milk customers? Like the got milk thing? Like
I think what they're trying to do is keep the customers they have feeling good about milk. Because like right now, like I know it doesn't taste good, but oat milk and almond milk and all that stuff, they're really making a push. Dairy
yeah,
people,
I get that.
I'm surprised the dairy mafia hasn't like started shooting some nuts.
Okay, yeah. I do. Yeah, milk's it's a good drink though.
Yeah, the banana one said it peels so good.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
And
I like
it
that.
lounged back and kind of like
Times Square is almost like if Instagram just fell out of your phone and onto a
Yeah.
that's exactly.
And then
into
it's
a-
like flashed at you.
That's
Yeah.
a good. I like that visual.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful one.
Thomas
Robbie.
is just like gotta buy this.
Yeah.
Like, just everything.
How do I put this in my cart?
But that's crazy because someday it is going to be like that when we all have individualized ads and you're looking at the screens.
Oh,
It's going to be
yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
jeez.
You won't even be looking at screens; it'll just pop up in your head. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
you guys make fun of me. A certain professional from New Balance asked me what chair that I bought off Instagram, and they are also buying the chair now.
Nah.
Yeah,
Wait.
Who?
Jen.
Oh, okay. All right. Man. We need to get them as a sponsor.
I know Hanoi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Hanoi? Is that-
Hinsoy or something like that. I forget.
Okay.
Actually, now that I'm plugging them, might as well get the name right. But yeah, I love the overstimulus.
Yeah, you got,
You got it.
stimulation.
Yeah,
Yep.
can't even get it out of my head now. But yeah,
That's cool. Did you get any chicken tenders from TGI Fridays or no? Any poppers?
no, but
Sure
I
did.
did see it. I asked the two ladies I was with if they wanted to go to the Olive Garden.
Oh.
We politely declined.
Did they still do unlimited breadsticks at Times Square?
I'm sure. How could they not?
Yeah. That would be a good deal, though, if you're just hanging out in New York City and you're really hungry for a long time.
Yeah. The name of the chair company is Hinomi.
Oh, okay.
And look at this picture that she sent me. She's like, this is how I'm going to be working.
I mean, that's nice.
I'm going to send this. I'm going to send it to Brandon so he can include the photo.
Put it on the YouTube version of the podcast.
Yeah, let's just send that right now. So we finished up with that, and then we went back to our favorite like pre-race pasta place.
It's kind of like our little home base in New York. It's called Pazanote. It's right on 6th Ave.
It's a good spot.
Yeah, it's just casual, nice. It's good for a group of people.
I got the chicken parm that, our boy Jarrett would always get. So keeping the dream alive.
And then, the next morning was 5th Ave Mile.
Yep.
Which we held, it was kind of weird because it's not like a normal.
It's waves based off of age.
Yeah.
So you were started before we did. It went you, Robbe.
So I was in the first wave, and that was supposed to take off at 7:25. But we need to go. You see, the New York Roadrunner events, you're technically not allowed to video or take pictures on the course or anything. They own the rights to their races, which it makes sense because they sell the rights. Like the pro races, NBC was the owner of the race for that.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, my taxes paid for those streets. If I lived in New York City, I feel like I should be able to.
You're the one of those. My taxes pay for this, guys.
Like in what way?
Like
I own this.
Yeah, or like the police. Like I pay your salary.
I mean, in some ways, yeah. Well, when the Coast Guard,
once that money's gone, it's gone.
When the Coast Guard arrested the guy for trying to cross the ocean in a hamster wheel, I'm like, how is this even in your jurisdiction to arrest this guy running in a makeshift hamster wheel?
Why were they arresting him?
Was that the Coast Guard who did it?
He's just being ridiculous.
Because he's gonna die. Like they try to keep people from dying.
I mean, if that's the way he's gonna go, let him do it.
Well, here's the other thing. Imagine they had to search for him. Once he got out there, and they're
he's
like,
in a giant hamster wheel. You're gonna find him pretty easily.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
The ocean is huge, and they do these things like that's all the time. Like, remember those guys who blew up in the submarine a little while ago?
Yeah, I just don't.
How much money they spend trying to find those guys?
Well, that one is really annoying because they knew they were dead. They searched for them for 4 days and already knew the submarine had blown up. They just didn't want to announce it yet.
That's why.
Because some insurance companies there's probably such a huge insurance on that stuff that
I would say it was they knew with like 99.9% certainty it had imploded, but they technically hadn't found the wreckage, so they couldn't say that it had.
Got it.
And
you know what I mean?
You got to figure there's millions of dollars in insurance at risk there.
Yeah, that they probably need.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, a little bit of the taxes guy.
Anyway, so you have to get permission. So Brandon and I both had permission to film on course, and we went early to talk to somebody from New York Roadrunners, who turns out his plane didn't get there, so we didn't have to talk to him anyway. Basically, this is the second time we've done this, so we kind of know what they want us to focus on and not focus on.
Bronx, New York City Marathon, Brooklyn half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So we know what they don't want us to be filming and know, in general what they're happy with us filming. Mm-hmm. So we get on course. Brandon is like one of the youngest. He's 24. So it kind of works backwards, oldest to youngest, and the oldest go first. And then there's like 20 minutes between each.
It's like 10.
Yeah, 10.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So 10 minutes between each heat, but there's double heats of some age groups. So like 45.
It's like 40 to 45 has
had two
one
heats.
Or two, yeah.
Yeah. And so it was kind of cool. I got in my heat. I filmed the course, I'm a quarter mile, a half mile, 800 meters to go, did kind of like a on course, this is what's happening thing.
Yeah.
And then I waited for everybody at the finish line, or tried to. But it's like the way that it went, it took so long, like for each one, because if there's 10 minutes in between each one, by the time Megan and Meg came through, I was like, whoa. I got Robbe at the finish. I got Jess Movold, Meg and Meg, and then like I was waiting, and I was like, I didn't have my phone with me, so I just ran back to the hotel and then came back, and people are still finishing.
It's a lot. I mean, from start to finish, it's 5 hours of heats.
Yeah.
That go off. So yeah, by the time, I mean, it's just a long morning. So how'd you feel about your race, Thomas?
I mean,
your mile race.
Mine. So
spill your guts.
Yeah, I mean, I played it safe, and I'm disappointed I did. I think I got psyched out by the mile, and I let my fear of if I actually try hard and I don't do as well as I'm hoping I will do, then I was more afraid of that result than just trying hard and going out there. I don't know if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I guess I know you like saying that, but I also don't know.
Like, I can't, like, not if I don't go out, like, in my head was, and I actually talked to someone before I ran, who was like giving me like some help with it, like, because I said, I'm a little. She's like, well, look, you're there to film, you're there to show the experience. Just concentrate on that, have fun with that, and don't worry about it. And so I was like, all right. But I know deep in my heart that I was kind of like, if I go out and I run as hard as I can and try to do the mile the best of my ability, if I come up with a number or something that I don't like, I was more afraid of that than actually giving it a shot. I totally got into my head. And in hindsight, I kind of wish I had run it hard.
Yeah.
And just seen what I could do. Because the course was amazing. I think it was also like post-race. And I ended up like having fun and jogging a 650 mile.
Yeah,
so it's not like
good.
Which to me isn't like, it's not ridiculous or anything like that. But like, I'm like, oh, wow, if I really tried,
right,
what would have happened? But, I still had fun. And now knowing that, I think part of it is 2020 hindsight. It's like, now I know the course and what it's like. I almost want to do it again because I feel like, okay, it would hurt. It's going to feel pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a straight shot down Fifth Avenue. It starts at the Met and ends at the corner of Central Park. And there is a little hill in the middle, which it feels like a hill, on that. It's a bump, but it feels significant when you're running that hard. And then, but the nice thing that I loved is that it's downhill, and then once you're 0.4 of a mile away, you can see the actual finish line, and if you can see that, then that can like pull you through.
And what I think is actually smart, and we'll ask Megan when we get to her mile, but I think it would be smart almost to, and I know a mile is supposed to just go all out, but even like talking to Josh Kerr today, we were interviewing Josh Kerr, who won for the men's pro field. There was strategy in when he decided to kick and not kick and do all that. So I think you can play with it a little bit. And I think that if you go out at a nice, healthy pace, maybe draw back a little bit on the hill and then rip it to the finish, I think you could have a really good race. But, I mean, you went next. So why don't we give your recap?
Well, so I got there and, I was waiting for my heat, which I almost missed because I was standing in the crowd behind and someone told me that they were already up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like behind that wall, where people were just hanging out.
That was the most bizarre thing that you had to walk around a wall.
Yeah.
I thought they would like retract it or something.
No.
Right. So that's why I was confused. I thought, we'll just go in front of this.
So to describe the wall was like a photo wall. So you could take your picture and it had like the logo of the event and the New Balance logo, step and repeat.
I didn't even know it was that.
So stuff. So people were taking photos in front of it.
Okay.
But it kind of did split the corral in half.
It acted like a barrier you had to walk around to get to the start line.
And then so everyone's like jammed up and trying to like cram into the corral.
Oh, wait. Well, can I mention one other thing that was crazy?
Sure.
Okay, so while I'm filming, of course, I'm getting the quarter mile markers and stuff. And it's a mile race, so I'm figuring you're not going to be that far off from the clock.
Right.
And I was like, I thought I was running like a 7:30 mile because the clocks were all like at the
gun start.
But the thing was, it's a gun start, but I like even in that group, I didn't feel like I was that far back in the group. So I was totally surprised. Like I felt like I was running a 7:30, and when I finished and it was a 6:49, I was like, what happened? Like, how is this possible?
Right.
But yeah, so it is weird. Even if you run it, you don't look. Would you look at the clock? Did you look at the clock?
I didn't look at the clock.
Because when you came over, I thought you ran a 7-minute mile.
I looked at the mile markers or like the meter markers, but I was looking at my watch. And then, but speaking of my watch, when you know how you set your watch to be ready to press start?
Yeah.
Well, I did it like 10 minutes before the race.
So it went to sleep.
Right when I'm about to cross the start line, like 5 feet away, I look down and it's reset. And I was like, damn it. So I stop, pull off to the side, and wait for my GPS to come on. So I'm the last person through the
so that was the weird thing. So again, I'm looking at the clock, and Robbe was not like, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Robbe's pretty far back.
Probably like a minute behind.
Yeah.
Did you have to weave around people?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's what sucked because, I mean, the first, couple 100 meters was fine because I was so far behind. and then in the middle, kind of where the hill was, I was dodging people and trying to run as fast as I could, which was kind of crazy. Sorry to the person I definitely ran into pretty hard at one point. Yeah. And then it kind of cleared up then and towards the second half where I could just run or whatever, but I felt pretty good overall. And I think it's technically a PR for me because
and you came through looking fine. Like Meg came through looking hurt. You came through looking pretty good.
I mean, I definitely dry heaved at one point in the last 400 meters. But yeah, 5:37 is, I will take it at my age and ability, whatever that is.
Zero fast training.
Yeah. I mean, I think I can, and I liked it because it's once it really starts to hurt, it's over.
I think that you would actually be good. Like you should start doing like track meets, like the old guy track meets.
That'd be fun.
Because I think you excel in like the shorter, faster.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wonder, do you think if someone focused just on shorter, like you could get
that's how it works.
There's a whole bunch of people that do that. They're in New York. They have track clubs and there's age groups and all that stuff. So they're actually doing competition, and I think it's very popular in Europe as well.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And I think you got skills. I think you should.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely more of a like fast, like
versus
faster.
Endurance.
Yeah. I like endurance, but it's fun to run fast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, by the way, Meg, I was gonna say your gender, or not your gender, your age group placing.
Yeah.
What was her age group placing?
It was 4th.
You were 4th?
I looked who was 3rd.
Megan Featherston.
Yeah. How did that happen?
I'm not sure.
Because wasn't she behind?
Wait, why don't you tell your story then?
Okay. Her official time is 1 second faster than mine, and we finished together, so I'm not sure.
All right, so give us the description.
Okay, so Megan and I were and Sean from New Balance all hung out together. We had the stars on our bibs, which got you to the front of the corral.
It's like that Dr. Seuss story, right?
Yeah, it is.
Right. Yeah.
Except for the other people didn't get the stars and then they took theirs off.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It was the most terrifying start line I've ever been on. Like if you put me on the start line of any marathon, fine. You put me on the start line in the front of a mile, absolutely terrifying.
Because there's only like 10 people there, right?
Yeah, there was like literally 10 of us with the stars on our bibs in the front of the corral.
But explain why you were nervous about that.
I've never raced a mile. Shorter distances are terrifying to me. I haven't even raced a 5K in probably 6 years. And so like it's the anticipation before you start running hard that really freaks me out. Like severe anxiety. And
See, and I would never guess that.
And they put us into because we had the stars, they put us into the corral ahead of everyone. So we had to stand there for like 10 minutes with just severe anxiety waiting for them to have the gun go off.
At least you weren't wearing bikini briefs.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of runners. It really was, 15
Yeah,
people?
maybe 10 or 15 of us.
Yeah.
So the gun goes off and I just, run as hard as I can because I don't have any ability to do anything other than that. And so I went through 800 meters at 5 flat and I ended with a 5:17. That gives you any indication of how positive my splits were. But
I mean, 17 seconds isn't insane.
in 800 meters, that's pretty bad.
5:30.
I'd take it.
5:30. Yeah.
So, but I was looking at all of our race photos, which were terrible, but
I thought you had some good ones.
there's a point where so Megan put on Instagram to guess what her time was going to be, and I guessed it was going to be a 5:16. And so there's a point where I'm looking at the clock and I'm looking at where we are running, and I get so excited and this giant smile comes on my face because I realize she's going to run a 5:16 and it's exactly what I called.
See,
and so
you could
everyone
think
around us
at that point is amazing.
I was not hurting as nearly as bad as anyone around us because it's a bunch of dudes who are like keeling over like in the pain cave, and like I just have a giant smile on my face and I'm pointing to the finish line. So clearly I didn't race it right.
Well, no, because when you came over, so I'm at the finish line recording you guys, and I don't even know if you recognized me.
No, I did, but at that point, that's when I was like, I might dry heave right now.
Okay.
So I just walked away.
So you think you could have? Are you saying you think you could have run it faster then?
Absolutely could have run it faster
Okay,
if I A, wasn't in the middle of marathon training, and B, ran it a little better.
Yeah.
Like didn't go out so hot.
Are you mad that Megan Featherston finished?
Not even a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, we finished together, so I'm not sure.
I thought they ran the whole thing together. So when I saw them, they were like side by side.
Well, that when I saw you guys at the halfway mark, maybe a little past,
Yeah.
you were ahead of her by like a second or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, then that's when it.
You
bounced.
saw somebody had a video when
That
she
was
started
Robbe.
closing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
maybe 3/4. Yeah, I think it was like 3/4 of a mile.
See, and like I was like I heard you scream my name, and then I had a big smile on my face, and like no one else around me had smiles ever. So I was like, I feel like I'm not doing this right.
Yeah, maybe just it's in general the people around you are too competitive.
That could be it too.
Yeah.
We also didn't do ourselves any favors by staying out a little late and having some beverages the night
I
before.
see. That's the other thing I think I did to protect myself
100% we
from
did that.
the fear of the mile. Like, I think I got 4 hours of sleep
Oh wow.
before. Normally, like we go to bed at
8:39.
8:39, and Meg's like, I went up to the room, and Meg's like, hey, so and so's coming down. Why don't you come back down?
You tried to Irish goodbye
To the
us.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you
We
come back
didn't
down
allow
to
it.
the bar? So I came back down, and that was a mistake. Like,
Yeah.
because then I had another drink, and I hung out and went upstairs, and then I did not sleep well because we had been drinking, and I had 4 hours. Yeah. So I think self-sabotage is definitely
yeah.
at play.
By the
For
way,
everybody except for Robbie over
I
here.
did notice that not drinking, you get really hydrated because
Yeah.
I went to that backyard barbecue and the whole time I'm trying to drink as if I'm at a party, but I'm just drinking seltzers and a couple NA beers. And I probably had 6 of them. And I'm like, dude, I just drank like a gallon of water, like just at a party,
That's
which
pretty
is
good, though.
crazy.
So
Good
socially
for-
though, when you're hanging out,
Yeah.
is it you kind of need something?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going again, like back to the band days. When we hang out, you just hang out
Yeah.
after party at someone's house, and that would be like every day of my life, And so you just have something in your hand, drinking and talking. It's just such a natural thing for me
Yeah.
that I almost have to have it. And it feels, I don't know, it feels natural, I guess, in a way.
And I think
I don't know what that says. It probably shouldn't feel natural.
when you are drinking alcohol though,
Yeah.
I feel like for me at least, there's a land between intoxication and starting to sober up, which like can feel like almost like a light headache, like you.
Mm-hmm.
And so like a lot of times you're trying to stay in like a certain
Yeah.
frequency.
Right.
And I think that's where I get into trouble.
Oh yeah.
But if I wasn't drinking, like I do when we aren't drinking, seltzers in our house just fly out.
Yeah.
Because like it's like you need something.
But it was perfect because I really, after that run that day, I didn't need to rehydrate, so it worked, I think. So
did you do miles after the after your mile race?
Just back to the hotel, yeah, but nothing more than that.
I was able to catch up with Meg. You had done.
I had a workout right afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So you did another 8 miles after the mile?
Yeah. And it was a progression run through the park,
Wow.
which I started doing. And I was like making up every excuse in my mind. I was like, there's too many people here. There's hills here. But somehow I got it done.
And then I caught up with you for your last 2 miles.
Yeah.
And we ended up running and then finishing up. Wait, did we go to, was that the day?
Use your words.
I'm trying to figure out which day we went to. Oh no, we went home that day.
We trained back.
Okay. So we went back to the hotel. The rain started pouring.
Yeah, they almost canceled the pro race. Or they did cancel the championship mile and a few other heats, but the pros went off.
Wait, if you just come to town for the championship mile to run it,
Yeah,
or is that just New York runners? Or is that other people?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you'd have to look that one up.
But
Like-
it was a real bummer for them.
You just don't run it.
Yeah.
But
I don't understand why you couldn't just maybe do it after the pro mile. Like, I guess maybe the streets had to be open by a certain time.
I'm sure.
so probably have a time limit. We needed content because that's what we do. So I take Meg's shoes that she ran the mile in, and it's pouring rain out. But I'm like, this would be cool to get New York City photos with the shoe, with the lights reflecting off the ground in the rain. So I go out there to take the photos. When I go down, everybody who was supposed to be racing, all the pros, everybody was down in the lobby area. So like it was like a who's who. Like everybody that you saw on TV for the race
Oh yeah.
was packed in there.
Wow.
And they had all the New York Roadrunner handlers that were like, we'll get you over there. We'll get you over there.
Right.
But it was like the rain, like we had no rain for our races.
Yeah.
The
And then it
rain
poured.
opened up and it was not just pouring, it was like a wall of water.
Yeah, we had originally planned to go watch the race live since we were there, but because it was pouring, we decided to watch it from our hotel lobby. But it was still very fun to watch.
Yeah, it was great. Final check-in. All right, I'm done beating myself up. I'm excited. We got more stuff coming on. I got training, legs feeling better, everything's shaking out. It's time to put this stuff to work, get this training going for New York. Hopefully you're training for something right now and enjoying the miles. And, hit us up. Let us know what you're up to. And tag us in your photos so that we can follow along in your training, see how your racing goes. And just tag Believe in the Run, hashtag, whatever. You can tag, DM, whatever you want. And we'd love to see what you're up to. And hopefully we'll see you at one of either Chicago or New York later this year. So enjoy the rest of your training. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, I was trying to think of is there a song about raining in New York?
Probably a Billy Joel.
That's what I was thinking.
It's got to be, right?
I was thinking No Rain is Blind Melon.
Ugh,
And then
that's horrible. You got a little girl dancing around with a bee suit on.
the video for that. Yeah.
So who won for the women? It was it Riki?
Yeah.
Riki from Great Britain.
Yeah, the UK is crushing right now.
And then Josh Kerr just turned on some afterburners and blew everybody out. We found out what shoe he was wearing. He's wearing the new Hyperion Elite 4. Robbie,
Yeah.
I asked him if it was now a P-Bax foam rather than a supercritical.
Uh-huh.
He couldn't really say.
He did a very good job of not answering the question.
But did you get the feeling that it's got to be?
He said they were leaving, what did he say? No.
Stone unturned,
stone
and they're
unturned.
going after all the foam technology.
Which to me means that it's not PIBA and that he's just
You're
making
like-
it sound
yeah.
great.
I feel like Brooks has left a couple stones turned. I don't know. Unturned.
Speaking of shoes, should we talk about this very exciting one?
Yeah, are we ready for it?
I think so.
Okay, nothing exciting happened on the train ride other than us buying 2 sandwiches that cost $50.
Well,
That was a problem.
yeah, that was a mistake.
It wasn't that.
Actually,
it
that
was
sandwich was really
good.
good. Yeah, I'm not saying that.
I don't know. I'd spend another $50 on it, but
No.
it was a really good sandwich. Pastrami and Meg had turkey.
Yeah, the only thing I did want to bring up was I did ask a poll on our Spotify last week. Are banana splits legit?
Oh God!
First off,
You know who the best food person is, and they answered this question.
there's one throwaway question. One throwaway comment by a Thomas F. Neuberger.
What was mine?
His answer was no, so we'll throw that one out.
Wait, how did I even get on there? I don't even know how to do it.
How do you even know how to use this?
Why did I even publish that one?
Yeah,
Did you clearly, were you drunk when you did this?
probably.
I have a feeling someone
on
made
ice
a
cream.
fake account.
No, it's his. Isn't that your Spotify photo or something?
Oh, that's definitely you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, he got intoxicated and got on Spotify.
Yeah. So just
I swear. No. Okay.
So aside from that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other answers, and it was a hell yes, a. Meg, did you ever see this comment that someone left?
They said that I'm a bad person, right? Read what they said.
Oh man, this person said, I really dislike Meg's dismissive superiority. She's entitled to her opinion, but her expression of disgust about something as banal as banana splits or naturally scented deodorant is off-putting. So,
Yeah, well, you're off-putting. What's his name?
Round thug.
Okay, round thug.
I mean, he's a thug. I would watch your words.
Okay.
And then so it's kind of like a 3 to. Well, actually, he didn't say anything about the banana split, so
He was just being
that was a neutral comment.
a word
What
that I
was?
won't use.
That was a neutral
Who?
comment. So
Some gentleman had the audacity
just to
to
just
comment
bash
on my.
Megan.
So other than that, it was an even split,
Okay.
2 to
If we do
2.
that- Hey Siri, call Jarrett Weisberg.
Okay. There's
This guy knows food better than anyone. He's
no.
basically.
This is you already You already set this up. You know his answer already.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear.
I
it.
could find an expert too.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Hey, Robbie's saying that bananas are cool.
Jarrett,
that what?
Bananas are cool in ice cream.
That bananas are cool?
banana splits are good.
Banana splits. Remember this?
Oh, banana splits. Nah, dude, I don't fuck with banana splits.
You literally F word with everything. Every food you F with.
Wait, are you avoiding the F word?
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I don't know. I was like, I don't know if we're bleeping
Jarrett,
out
you're
that
on
one.
the podcast right now. We're recording.
Well, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but out of every sort of sugar-related creation I enjoy, banana splits is not something I've ever been like.
I'm
"Yeah,
here for
I'm gonna
this.
order this
I'm
today."
here for
And I
this.
kind of feel like Jarrett's the authority on garbage in your mouth.
Well, this makes me sad because Jared and I pretty much agree on every kind of fast food or junk food, and
But
Not today.
Is this a good thing that we don't agree on this? Because it might make us a little bit more compatible.
I guess we're banana split on the whole
Oh.
Wow.
Ah.
On that note.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And
All
by
right.
the way, Robbie is a father.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later, bud.
Okay, bye.
All right. So I
All
really
right, all
feel
right.
like that neutralizes your love of him. His non-love of it is two people that love food.
It does seem like we're 50-50 across the board
All right,
everywhere.
that's fair. I
Yeah.
agree to disagree. We're a podcast that's about being open minded to everyone's opinion.
All right.
Okay.
Do you know what we can all agree on?
What?
At least the two people who have run it in this room.
Okay.
That this New Balance 1080
So-
V13.
Wait, you haven't run it?
is a
I don't have
winner.
it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, New Balance, get on that.
All right, Meg, give them the breakdown. What's going on with this shoe?
What is going on with this shoe?
So the 1080 V13 is what their classic daily trainers, like
Yeah.
a workhorse shoe.
They've
Basically.
moved up the cushion it though. I think you could call it a well cushioned daily trainer.
Okay.
I think previous models have been really well cushioned, but this one takes it to that next level.
Yeah, so it's definitely a new formulation of the
35.29.
fuel cell.
No, this isn't fuel cell. This is fresh.
I'm sorry, fresh foam. That's what I meant. And it's really nice and bouncy.
I would compare the closest shoe I would compare it to that you've worn is the Nimbus 25.
So is it soft in that way?
No, it's not as soft as that.
Okay,
It's definitely more responsive than the.
that's
But it's
appealing
well
to me.
cushioned. The thing, I mean, it's a comfortable shoe.
I mean, I like the look of it. It looks really nice.
It's much better than the last.
I did not like the last, honestly, several versions.
You didn't like the
opinion.
giant orange one that they had?
No.
Do you know what I didn't like about that? The sloppy knit. It
Yeah,
just didn't hold your foot in well, which made the shoe feel big. This one, I don't really have much to complain about, and I believe that the review should already be up online.
Well, what about the sizing on it? Because the last version did run a little bit big.
No, see, that's the thing. It wasn't that it ran big. It's that the
mine
knit
does.
was like, okay.
Mine does. Like, I thought about it, and at first I was like, no, it's perfect. And then I looked down at where my toe was hitting on this one. I feel like it could go down a half size. Yours seemed to fit perfect.
Wait, so
though.
you think it was too small?
No, I think you could go down a half size. I wear
okay,
a 10 and a half. This is a 10 and a half. I feel like I could probably get away with a 10.
I wear 7.5, and my 7.5 is perfect.
All right.
Yeah. So maybe here's the other thing. I thought, I talked to someone from New Balance. I thought maybe there's certain shoes in Asics that I'm a 10 in versus the other ones, like Super Blast. I wear a 10, and I was like, well, maybe I should be a 10 in New Balance. And the person in New Balance said that no, this shoe runs a little bit long.
Okay.
From their feeling. So I don't know why it fits Megan so well, but I think because I'm between a 10 and a half and a 10, it's just that extra bit of room. But it did not bother me during the run.
I mean, the upper is definitely a huge upgrade from the previous one, from the knit.
Hell
now
yeah.
you have like this mesh, more traditional looking upper. You've got a gusted tongue. You've got padding through the collar.
And fit wise, other than it being long, it fit my foot really well. Like I didn't have a ton of puckering at the bottom of the U throat where I normally get it.
So that's what, not to change topics to a different shoe, but I ran in the SC Trainer V2, which I really liked the ride of that a lot for my long run on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really weird is I got that like puckering or loose feeling in the, where the laces start.
Yeah, the U throat.
Yeah. But what was really weird on the run is my toes were hurting me, but it wasn't too. I didn't feel like they aren't jammed up against the front, so I don't know if I didn't feel like it was moving around that much.
You have problem with plates because it's like the
not underneath.
Pro 3.
No, it was almost like my toes hitting the front of the shoe.
I do think the trainer's a bit more narrow.
I think I know it.
Of the toe.
You have to lace that one right for me, otherwise I get some movement in the toe box, like sliding around a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And like so when we did the dreaded Druid Hills, or it's not the Wednesday night run, when I was going, because it has steep angles like up and down, I had to stop and retie my shoes because I was sliding around in them a little too much. So that just might be.
It might have just been forward, because I didn't feel like I was sliding around side to side, maybe just from the hills forward and backwards, I guess. Yeah. Anyways,
what's a weird one about this shoe though is Megan and I got this shoe about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago,
Like 4 months ago.
like 4 months ago. So we probably have, I would say Megan's probably got 75, 80 miles on a pair of the light blue ones with the yellow bottom.
Yeah.
And then I probably have 50, 60 miles on these. And so it's definitely a shoe we put some mileage on. And I've also worn it a ton for casual.
Yeah, I love it. The New York City colorway is really nice for the women. There's a like almost all white version and then like a bright green one.
It's like an oatmeal color. I like it.
But yeah, it's one of those shoes that I feel like works for a lot, and it's like you don't think about it when you're wearing it. So like those easy runs just fly by because you lace it up, and it's like you forget you're wearing a shoe.
yeah.
It's one of those ones that I feel like I'd be really comfortable recommending to anyone.
Yeah.
Because it's just so.
Now, similar, if you compared it to the Brooks Ghost Max, which seems like another shoe in that range.
I put down in the review a bunch of shoes that I'd compare it to. Ghost Max, I think, is a little firmer underfoot.
Definitely.
And you like that. You tried that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So it has that stack and the height feel. Mm-hmm. I think, is this lighter? Are they comparable?
Pretty comparable. This one's a bit lighter. I think it's like 8 ounces. I think the Ghost Max is like, for me, closer to 9.
The Ghost Max feels good, but it doesn't have like
It's pretty light.
a bounce or the rebound.
8 ounces for my size for women's.
Oh,
7.5.
and the men's.
Yeah,
But the
this
men's
is-
is still pretty late. It's like 9.3, right?
It was 10 something for mine, 10.5.
Right.
So I want to say 10.4, but I could be off.
Yeah, men's 9 according to the spec sheet is 9 ounces, 9.2.
9.2. That's pretty good.
Yeah. This one has where I feel like I really like the Ghost Max. For like, there's something I do like about that midsole that's a little less. It doesn't have as much bounce.
No, yeah.
This one, out of the shoes in this category, I say it has more bounce than the other ones. Like Puma Deviate or Magnify.
That's like a
Magnify 2.
firmer.
Now it
It's
is.
closer to the
shoe.
Ghost.
It is $160.
Yeah,
So you're getting up there in the daily trainer range.
Yeah.
coming out October 13th.
How much is the Nimbus? Is it 140 or 150?
Nimbus is 160, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Remember that was like that. Everything's 160.
Yeah, so this one, it feels like you get almost that softness like you get from the Asics Nimbus 25, but you get that more responsive like ride, a little bit more bouncy. And like the Ghost Max, I think is more of just like your firmer, less responsive, but still cushioned shoe.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. It is 160. What
Yeah.
is this? What is this version that's 180 of the Gel Nimbus 25?
Is it all colors? Is it like
it
the
says
Tutti Frutti?
It says platinum.
Oh no, that's the one that comes with the. Okay, so that's got like remember how they had the platinum for the Nova Blast where it
Oh,
has like the
gosh.
reflective and
That
the
midsole
stuff.
is not cute.
Okay.
It's like an all black midsole. Why do they
Someone
do that?
listening just bought that shoe yesterday, and they're like now just crying in their car,
So-
sobbing.
The look of the 1090 still has some of this.
I'm sorry, what shoe?
1080 still has this organic looking, cellular styling on the tooling on the midsole, and then on the bottom. What's kind of weird is the upper got this more modern look to it,
Yeah.
and they kept like the throwback to the other ones,
Well, it looks similar to the More. The More V4 has that
Yeah.
tooling.
It is
right? And I guess that's fresh foam language, I guess, that they're using. But I was kind of like, this shoe, the foam is an update, the upper's an update. I kind of wish that they had.
I'm just glad they got rid of the veins that were prevalent for a couple years.
Do you
there.
mean the thing on the back that looked like
Yeah.
some sort of sack of
Yeah.
some sort?
Yeah, very veiny.
Maybe something you would keep balls in.
I can't believe that design
Pass the test.
kept going through.
I like the look of this shoe.
I do.
I
I
don't-
think
I thought you were
it
going to
is
save
good.
the veins. I was
Okay,
like, stop.
come on.
They did a good job. The
I?
the colors are good. They got. I think they have something for everybody.
Yeah.
Like you have the bright neon green for the New York colorway.
It's nice. Yeah, I was surprised. A lot of running shoes I don't think work well with regular clothing, regular human clothing, and I feel like I saw you
Yeah.
wearing those, and I didn't think you looked dumb.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah,
Congrats.
but there's like
No.
a lot of running shoes that just do not work
Yeah,
in a casual,
100%.
stylish setting.
I will say I'll still go with the 990 V6
Yeah.
for style. But if you're buying, this is one of those shoes that I feel like you can buy, you can get your miles in on, and you can also wear casually afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it. I don't know why this back thing is so puffy, but it's puffy.
What did we call it? We called it something.
Oh, you call it an Achilles pillow or something?
I think I called it an Achilles
Yeah.
pillow.
It's kind of like the back of your office chair in a way.
I love that thing. Have
So-
I talked to you about that?
You sure have.
I think you've talked to the world
Yeah,
about it.
everyone knows about it.
I'll be dripping my electrolyte.
I'm surprised you don't have a shirt from that chair company by now.
Don't, Robbie.
Oh shoot!
Jesus.
My bad.
I wonder if they have shirts.
What was the name?
They're going to
Hanomi?
pop up on Instagram now.
Hanomi.
Hanomi chair shirt. Let's see if that comes up.
Oh, if they had like a engineer drawing of the shirt, that'd be amazing.
Dude, they have a
chair.
gaming chair. You might want to check that
No,
out.
I know
no,
that-
Robbie,
yeah.
no. Pipe down. All right.
All right. So, anything else we want to throw in here?
I don't think so. I think that wraps it up for this week.
We don't have any events coming up, right?
No.
For the first time in
Oh, well,
what?
Next stop is
Chicago.
until Chicago, so
Yeah.
we got like a month.
oh boy,
Crazy.
Chicago.
like a
is-
month. Like that's tomorrow in our in our time
I
frame.
know.
Chicago is October
8th.
Oh, it's before the Baltimore.
Correct. The
Okay.
week before.
So not even a month.
Are you doing anything at Baltimore? I'm gonna run the half.
Yeah, I'm running the half.
All right, and so is Ryan Haynes.
Yeah. So hold up. So you only have 2 more weeks till taper, Meg? Or
She might be coming in hot.
Andrew said, no, I'll go into a slight taper on the 18th.
okay.
But this is another 90 plus mile week. So
right. So
Guess what she's doing tomorrow morning?
Your
We're recording this.
Your taper's probably double my max week for marathon training.
yeah,
It's
I'm
like
not
60,
sure. I'm
70 miles.
very interested to see what his taper looks like. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do well with taper anyway.
Now,
so.
are you gonna look at the weather ever before the?
Oh yeah, starting 2 weeks out, I'll just check every
that's right.
day,
You're
like by
obsessed
2
about it.
hours.
Yeah, it's
and
insane.
then-
It drives me nuts. I'm like, why do we keep getting weather updates for something that's 10 days away that changes every day?
because you just got to keep checking until it's what you want.
Oh, yeah. But here's the crazy thing is today is Tuesday when we're recording this. You're listening to it on a Friday, possibly, maybe after that. But tomorrow, Meg has her second midweek 22-mile run.
He loves the Wednesday 22 milers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's unemployed. He doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
He's watching Dina run around.
He's actually living in a tent, handing you your
Training
workout.
plan.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Hey, thank you to Brandon for coming to New York with us and then editing this up and throwing in lots and lots of pictures.
Yeah, and thanks again
stuff.
to New Balance New York Road Runners for putting on the 5th Ave Mile. That was very fun.
And what about all the people that showed up?
And yes, everyone who came to the Shakeout Run, you guys are great. We love you. And
Keep on pumping those miles out.
yeah.
All right.
Hi, Mom.